There's room at the table for everyone. Early years growing up, every summer, my grandmother and grandfather had fields of peas, okra, corn, butter beans, you name it. There was a field with it in it. The strongest memory of the fields was the purple hull peas. Anybody have ever eaten purple hull peas? It's a great pea when it's fresh out of the field. We would spend days or weeks picking purple hull peas. The picking part was kind of fun. You had the opportunity to work a while, play a while. Don't get me wrong. Sometime while you was playing, you did get in trouble because we had to get these peas out of the field. We would pick peas. And then in the evenings, after it cooled off, we would sit down and shell them. You would shell purple hull peas until your fingers were purple. I mean, literally purple. And what my grandmother and grandfather would do, they would purchase white pillowcases. White showing the purity. Also, there is no dyes in them. These white pillowcases were used to store the peas. After shelling the peas, my grandmother would do what was called blanch them. And that would put a slight coating on them so when you froze them, the ice or the outer shell kept them fresh. And we basically would give a lot of them away. As we were shelling, or even days after shelling, if people stopped by from the community, my grandmother would say, go in there and get them a bag of peas. So we would give them away. This would go on for a while. So one day I asked my grandmother, why are we giving away these peas, butter beans, okra, especially the purple hull peas? Because my thumbs and fingers were still purple from all the hard work. She said, son, we give because we have. Others have not. You help where you can help. As a little child, it was kind of challenging trying to figure out what she meant. But as I became an adult, I learned what my grandmother called trading. And that's what she said we were doing, was trading. And as we gave to others, others would give to us. We didn't have much, but I thought we had a lot because we had a lot to give. As you would give this away, just imagine if you had peas, butter beans, okra, rice, and some type of meat, you had a full meal. So we were giving from the heart. And I did not understand that until I became an adult. I thank my grandmother and grandfather for that wisdom that was instilled in me from a child. So if you walked into our house any given day, especially the weekend. You always smell something cooking or something that has been cooked. There was always a pot or pots on the stove with food in them. And anyone that came in, one of the first things my grandmother asked, you want something to eat? Not if you're hungry, do you want something to eat? If so, a plate was fixed, set on the table, and they would sit down and eat. Don't get me wrong, as kids, we didn't let them eat by themselves. We sat down and ate with them because there was always room at our table. There was always room at our table for others. And in life, there should be and is always room at the table for someone else. There is room at the table. Who is that person in your life that always made room at their table for you? It could be to rest a while. It could be to fill your belly. It could be to fill your soul. But at the table, grace was said. At the table, when speaking, eye contact was made. There is always room at the table. Did you set the table for others, or have others set the table for you? In the comment section, let me know who has made room at the table for you.